in front of the United Nations because that's supposed to be the institution for peace. We are looking for justice. And that is why we are standing here in front of the United Nations because that's supposed to be the institution for justice. That is what we want.
Yes.
Now, when they talk about peace, they are talking about a ceasefire. You lay down your arms, and I lay down my arms, and everything goes back to normal. When they're talking about peace, they're talking about schools going on, everything moving on, and we just go back to normal. Annexation and colonization, everything just goes on unchanged. When they're talking about peace, they are talking about what? Special status. Who wants special status?
No way. No way.
We don't need special status. In this country, in America, anybody with a special status is a handicapped person.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
You know that, right?
Yes.
You go to the supermarket, you go to the plaza, you look for the handicap parking. And you park there, that's your special status. Is that what Ambazonians are?
No.
When we are feeding like the Republic of Cameroon with resources, petroleum, mineral resources, food, and they consider us handicaps, we are not fighting to gain some special status with the Republic of Cameroon. We are fighting to take back that which belongs to us. Now, how many of you know? How many of you know? I don't need to lecture Barrister John here, he knows better than me. But Ambazonia, we govern ourselves from the day we left Nigeria to 1961.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
We govern ourselves. In fact, we were the first democracy in Africa. But they still took it away from us, snatched it away from us, and now they are killing our people, our families, our brothers, our sisters, our parents, just to keep us yoked with them. We are here addressing the international community. One thing I must say here, ladies and gentlemen, is that the international community has been nowhere to be found in this struggle. The international community has been unjust because I do not believe that for 4 years, one criminal and his cronies will sit in Yaoundé, kill over 13,000 people, and no one economic sanction is levied on that criminal. No, not one. Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
One person sits in his presidency and uses his cronies to kill mother, whole villages, and there is no one economic sanction from the so-called international community. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me carefully. The time is coming that this war may turn into a Rwanda. Hello?
Yes.
Because we are getting it up to here.
Yes. Already past that level.
Hello? Yes. We are getting it up to here. The time is coming that it will be tit for tat. Hello?
Yes.
We have been warning Francophones in our territory that we are having enough of their silence. You see what Camto did the other day?
Yeah.
Camto steps out, call for a rally, you see Francophones on the street. But Ambazonians have been slaughtered for the past 4 years. Francophones do not raise their voice. They are busy buying our land. They are busy occupying our territory. They are busy setting up businesses. They are busy driving our people into the interiors and into their own territory. And you know what they are doing? When our people leave, they buy the land. They buy the land. But the moment is coming, the time is coming that it will be tit for tat. It may turn into a Rwanda, we don't care, because after they have killed over 13,000 people, I do not know who will be so stupid and so naive to say let's surrender. To say let's surrender.
No.
I don't know who will be so naive at that moment, at this moment, to say let's give up. But I just like to remind the international community, the so-called international community, that when they ignore us, we will do what we have to do to fight and regain our freedoms. Hello? When they reject us, we will do whatever we will do to regain our liberty, our freedoms. We will do that. We have no choice. We have no choice. La République du Cameroon does not have monopoly over violence. Hello? You hear me? La République du Cameroon does not have monopoly over violence. And the moment is here. Ladies and gentlemen, I really want to say to the international community that Amazonia will never going to be part of La République du Cameroon. And let me share with you here. We have had several meetings with United Nations officials at the interim government level. Hello? You hear me?
We are not going to sit down again with their intention to fight to the finish line. We are not going to sit down again to accept servitude from La République du Cameroon. The people of Amazonia are standing up tall to tear this building. All the delegates in this building, that we are going to hang our flag here in the soonest times possible. The flag of Amazonia must fly here. The flag of Amazonia must fly here. The flag of Amazonia must fly here. All the forces on Ground Zero, we are determined to fight alongside you guys down there to make sure we deliver results. Amazonia must be free. Believe in your freedom. Believe in your total and unconditional freedom. The restoration forces of the Northern Zone, we say thank you. The restoration forces of the Southern Zone, we say thank you. We are gathered here today in unison with all the Amazonians, world all over, that we are going to free ourselves, or we will fight till thy kingdom come. Amazonia must be free. Amazonia, oh yeah? Amazonia, oh yeah? Believe in your freedom. The Amazonia National Self-Defense Council, the ANSC, Amazonia National Self-Defense Council, has a promise for all of you here, and to all the people on Ground Zero, and all Amazonia, all across the world. We are going to deliver freedom. Never a day we are going to lay down our arms again. Never a day we are going to lay down our arms again. Amazonia must be free. Freedom must come, and freedom must come right now. Believe in your freedom. I love you all. The Amazonia National Self-Defense Council loves all of you. Believe in your freedom. Thank you, Amazonia.
That was the push we needed here to know that at least our restoration fighters are as motivated as we are, and that they will deliver for us what we expect. So at this time, I would like to, can you hear me well? Okay. At this time, I would like to take over this stage now and put a couple of culprits on trial. But before I put them on trial, I would like to say exactly, following from what Comrade Lambi just said, that the one thing we must never again do is to allow ourselves to be defenseless. We must never again allow ourselves to be defenseless, because that's the only reason. In 1972, when Ahijo decided to march into our territory, that exactly, I want to emphasize here about that 1972, because when we talk about the struggle, that is the day when the dark clouds came over the skies of the southern Cameroon. 20th May of 1972. We must take note of that. It is not 1960, nothing before that was as consequential as what happened on the 20th of May 1972. The day that Ahijo decided to move his gendarmes and military into our territory, intimidate our then leaders because they were defenseless.
Yes.
Following on what he said, that we must never allow ourselves again to be defenseless because we had nobody to defend us. We only had the mobile wing police. They could not stand against the gendarmes and the military. So our leaders were cornered. And saying that they had nothing to do with their bare hands, they had to go with whatever Ahijo told them. So we must make sure that we provide what our boys on the ground need to build them up, not just for now, but for the future. That henceforth, the Ambazonian people must have a military that is capable of defending them. Okay. In order for me, I'm not a barrister, but I hope Barrister So will excuse me for any flaws I may make in this trial. Yes. This time is Judge Michael presiding. And I thank you, the jury, for coming in to render your services to Ambazonia.
Chief jury.
This is the case. The case is the defendants.
Yes.
Those whose fingerprints were found on the crimes around the crime scene are La République du Cameroon and France.
Yes.
Those are the two culprits.
Yes.
And these two culprits have two co-defendants. And these are the United Kingdom or Britain and the United Nations.
Yes.
They are the co-defendants in this case.
Yes.
Now, what do I have to prove my case? I have the evidence. There was a so-called referendum, but that referendum had no basis because the document that was used in the establishment of that referendum or the results thereof was false. And I have the document right here.
And so that the Ambazonian flag will fly number 193. We have paid the price. We have paid the price for the error of the United Nations. I know that the officials, the Secretariat of the United Nations is corrupt as far as our case is concerned. We only have the member states to rely on. Look at the flag of a genocidal regime is flying here, right here in front of us. The United Nations, you know about Gabu. You slaughtered our children, our pregnant women, and buried them in Gabu. And you are meeting them to talk to you today. And yet, the case of the Southern Cameroons that you voted for independence in 1961 is not being heard today. Why? Why? Why is that? We have lost confidence in the Secretariat of the United Nations. We can no longer count on them. We can no longer count on them. But we are counting on you, the members of the United Nations, 192 minus La République du Cameroon, making 191. We cannot wait for another 365 days to come to New York to remind you that we need your recognition. What have we done to the world, including Africa? Nigeria, if you are listening to me. Ghana, if you are listening to me. Kenya, if you are listening to me. Uganda, if you are listening to me. You cannot come and sit there and watch Africans being slaughtered in the Gulf of Guinea and you say nothing. I cannot believe that the president of the Security Council this year is a Malian. It's Mali. And Mali is unable to put the Southern Cameroon case on the Security Council. What did we do to the world? Well, the error was done by the United Nations, and the former Secretary General of the United Nations at the time spoke against this question of independence by joining. La République du Cameroon has since left that union in 1984. And we are calling on the United Nations member countries, the United States, Great Britain put us where we are. The other countries of the EU in Europe, the African Union, where are you? You went that when they would have killed us like they did in Rwanda before you react. We are calling on you today. That's why we are here. You may see us here and think that we are few. COVID-19 has caused us not to be here today. But those of us who are here, we are giving you the message. If anybody is listening to me in that house, in that tall building, the member states, you better start recognizing us. We will fight. We will fight. And let me repeat Secretary Chris. When La République was demonstrating on the 22nd, not a single soul fell. The same day, they were in our territory, going into homes and taking our people and killing. And you, Mali, you are manning the Security Council and you are saying nothing. I don't see us on the agenda of the Security Council. I don't see us on the agenda of the General Assembly. Well, we are here to remind you that we want you. We are not begging anymore. We want you to recognize the vote. You have voted in 1961. Give us recognition now. But we are going to fight back. If La République du Cameroon citizens living in our territory, so far not one of them has been hurt. So far not one of them has been hurt. We have done everything to protect them. But since you continue to send your citizens in the name of soldiers to kill us, the Rwanda affair will start very soon. Believe me, it's going to start. But today, the 24th, the genocidal regime will be talking in front of you. I want to see a bold African nation that will put our case on the United Nations agenda, the General Assembly agenda, and talk about it and give us recognition. Recognize us, and the rest is history. We thank you.